Hey, what's going on, guys? It's me, Aiden, from Cartoon Apocalypse, and welcome back to another episode of Miraculous Ladybug News. Now, today you may be wondering, what do we have to talk about today? And it is yet another clip from the New York special. Not really anything too surprising there because, just a couple days away from the airing of the New York special in both the US as well as in France. So we got a lot to look forward to this upcoming Friday. As always, if you want to stay updated on all of the news, I highly recommend that you go ahead and leave a like and subscribe for more content similar to this, because I will update you whenever we hear new news. Now, I would love to show you the clip in this video, but unfortunately I cannot because I will be demonetized from this video. So I will leave a link to the clip down in the description below. Highly recommended that you go check it out, otherwise you'll just probably be confused throughout this video. So yeah, definitely go check that out. And also there is a new sort of intro for the new logo for this special. Now, it's not really anything big, but it is cool, so I didn't really want to talk about it in this video because it's not really anything important, but it does look cool if you're interested in seeing that. And just as a backstory, this clip came from a masterclass video from the Disney Channel France YouTube channel. So they released like a video where they interviewed Thomas and some other people on the crew and just sort of talked about this. And the more important stuff comes from the clip itself, but there was a couple pieces of info that was from just the interview itself, so I will be talking about that at the end. Now, this video is not going to be formatted like the other analysis videos that I have put out, because those were trailers, and the trailers are very specific, like 2 or 3 seconds per clip. This one is a full, like, minute-long clip of the same scene, so I'm not going to go, like, clip by clip and frame by frame sort of talking about it, but I am going to point out specific pieces of it that I think is more important than others. So the clip is of the airplane going down scene. Now, this is a very common clip that we've seen throughout all of the different trailers and stuff. It was the very first clip that was actually released from another video. So yeah, we've gotten a lot of, interviewee type videos that release new clips. But this clip is only like 1 minute and 30 seconds long, and that's like the entirety of this scene. So I think it's pretty crazy that, this big clip I thought that would take a little bit more time is only like 1.5 minutes. So yeah, definitely shows you the importance of this clip in the grand scheme of things, because this is obviously going to be played sort of at the beginning, I think. The time code up at the top is a little bit cut off, but I think it's within the first 10 to 20 minutes, if I'm reading that correctly, because the first digit on the left looks like a 1. So yeah, so within either 10 to 20 minutes, somewhere in between that period of time, we will be seeing this clip. Now, right off the bat, when the flight attendant announces that the United States heroes are going to be helping out the plane, Olia's like, oh my gosh, Kenny Vale, the first superhero artificial intelligence created by Majestia. And that actually reveals a lot, because we've had a lot of the other hero names released, but that alien three-eyed girl, we were like, we have no idea who this character is, what her name is, etc. But it has been revealed that her name is Kenny Vale. Now, the spelling of that is unclear at this point, but it is believed that that will be the name. And it could also change in the English dub. That's just what we know from the French dub. But the thing that will definitely not be changing is the fact that this character is artificial intelligence, AI. So she's sort of like a robot. Now, I guess we're at a point in the show when, AI and robots can be, super human realistic, which is kind of interesting because that's the first time we've ever heard anything like that. So I don't know if that would mean like super advanced prosthetics would be a thing. I don't know. My guess is they will never touch on that fact again, but I don't know. I just thought I'd put it out there. But yeah, Kenny Vale is created by Majestia. So yeah, that's pretty cool info. Now, Alia seems really excited by Majestia, so my guess is Alia is most intrigued by Majestia. And actually, that just reminded me, I went ahead and went and checked, and when we first saw Alia, well, not really, in the Origins episode, when Alia was, first introduced to Marinette, I should say, Majestia was the first superhero that Alia talked about. So, yeah, my guess is Alia's favorite superhero, aside from Ladybug, is probably Majestia, so that's pretty awesome. That explains a lot as to why Ollie is so informed on Kenny Vale and Majestia and probably all of the other heroes in New York. So yeah, it's just gonna be funny, Ollie being like, come on guys, how do you not know this stuff? This stuff is super awesome and cool and you should all know it. Did want to point out Mr. Damocles here. He's just so funny. I love him. His gag is hilarious. Now I think it's safe to assume that this character is Techno Pirate because I don't know, for some reason this character gives me a lot of vibes to the other villain character that was like powered up in one of the trailers. Plus the gadget that he has in this episode is very similar to like, you know, he stole the reactor according to the synopsis. And so, I don't know, it just all makes sense and fits very well that this would be Techno Pirate. Now I think a big question that a lot of people will have is why is he hijacking, or not really hijacking, but why is he on this plane trying to steal the jet? Like, does he need the jet? Is he just trying to cause trouble? My guess is he would need the jet, and since he's sort of like a techno-y, like, I don't know, mechanical kind of guy, I get the vibe of, I think he's trying to use this jet to help prepare, I don't know, some sort of mechanism to help him take over the world and whatnot. Now, they do end up capturing Techno Pirate, supposedly Techno Pirate. I guess we technically don't know that it's Techno Pirate, but I'm just going to call this character Techno Pirate. They do end up capturing him, but, like, I think if it is the same character, he obviously escapes, and, okay, Techno Pirate looks like he's in, like, the prison jumper, and so that would imply that he just escaped from prison, so I guess he's going straight back to prison, and then that would also mean that he escapes again, so something's wrong with the security of the prison. Like, you would think that they would have a bit more security if this guy just keeps getting out. So the final big part of this clip is Majestia and Kenny. Now Majestia seems really not really overprotective, but really concerned with Kenny. Now there could be a couple of different reasons for this. I mean, Kenny is just an AI, so I don't know sort of like what that would imply about her, but Majestia seems really concerned about Kenny's well-being, I suppose I'll put it. I don't know if that's the correct word because, I mean, it's assumed that Kenny is just like a robot. Now this comes after Majestia saves Kenny from a bomb thrown by Techno Pirate. So, I mean, Kenny is fine, but Majestia is just like, are you okay? Like, I don't know. I think it's interesting because this could mean that Kenny is a fairly new, maybe prototype, or, you know, not fully worked out with all the kinks yet, possibly. Or, you know, Majestia could just be like super scared that Kenny could get hurt for some reason, whether that be like she just can't make a replacement part for Kenny, or that she's just, you know, just simply treats Kenny like a living person and that like nothing can happen to her or something. I don't know. It just seems really weird because like it seems like Kenny is treated like a real person, and that's good, but I'm just saying, like, in theory, if Kenny is an AI, then she should be super replaceable, right? If she gets blown up, right, assuming that she has a backup of her AI software, you should, in theory, just be able to upload that software to a new body, and then boom, you're fine. So I don't know, like, is there a reason why Majestia is so worried? Like, I think it's fine that, you know, she's treated like a real person and whatnot. I'm just questioning, like, is there a reason for it? Because thinking about it logically, there shouldn't necessarily be a need to. I mean, obviously it would probably be expensive to produce more Kennys, quote unquote, but like, I'm just saying it would make a lot of sense that, like, I don't know, if Kenny, for example, lost an arm, you know, it's just a robot arm, presumably. Again, we don't really know, so this is just my guess, but it wouldn't necessarily be that big of a deal, because if it is just an AI, then she shouldn't feel pain. It shouldn't make really any difference. You would just have to, like, adjust her systems to be like, okay, so I don't have an arm, and now everything will just be done with my left arm, for example, if she lost her right arm. So yeah, I don't know. I think this is just really interesting because I don't know, like, I guess we're just getting more lore into the technology in this show, or more specifically in this special, because like I said, I don't really think this is going to have anything to do with season 4 and 5. So yeah, I'm just really interested to see, you know, more of the backstory and lore about this character. But yeah, that was really all I wanted to talk about with this new airplane scene. So yeah, let me know your thoughts on it. Now, like I said, this original clip came from a larger video from Disney Channel France. It was like a masterclass thing. So there were a couple more pieces of info, maybe more, but this is what we know from that video right now. So the main things learned from the entirety of the masterclass video, including the new clip, is that the three-eyed girl is named Kenny Vale, and she is an AI created by Majestia, and now we already talked about that. Technopirate will not be the only villain, and okay, so technically with this wording, it could also be referring to Hawkmoth, but I also do think that the other, like, possibly the akumatized Statue of Liberty, that could be what this is. Okay, that's just speculation. I have no idea if the Statue of Liberty is going to be akumatized, but that larger thing that Marinette/Ladybug jumped onto in a previous clip, that thing could also be the other villain, which makes sense. And the final thing that we learned from that is that the special is not canon to the comic, but inspiration was taken from it. So in case you weren't aware, there were a lot of characters that were taken from the comic. So for example, Sparrow, Night Owl, Majestia, those all were taken from the comic, so we already sort of knew a bit about those characters. But this is saying that, okay, just because we have those characters from the comic doesn't mean that everything about those characters in the comic is true about the characters in this special. So one example of this is that there were a lot more characters from the comic that is probably not going to appear in this special. And just like in this special, there are characters that will appear that were not in the comic. So that's just sort of what they mean by this statement. So yeah, that's all we really know from the masterclass video. Now I will say that I don't speak French, so I was not able to directly confirm these things. This is just secondhand information. So if anyone who speaks French wants to go watch that video and inform me in the comments, or any other way, if there was more info or if any of this info is incorrect, then go ahead and do that. That is greatly appreciated. But anyway guys, that's going to be it for this video. If you did enjoy, you can go ahead and leave a like and subscribe for more content similar to this, and I will see you in the next one. Goodbye.